Hello, my dear friends. Imagine that you carry within yourself a secret so powerful that, if revealed too soon, it could be destroyed by invisible forces around you. What if I told you that this secret is not just a mystery, but the key to the purpose God has reserved exclusively for you? Intriguing, isn't it? Stay with me until the end of this video, because today you will discover how to protect what is most sacred in your life and use it as your greatest strength to fulfill your divine calling. If this topic has already touched your heart, like this video now, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Also, comment. Have you ever felt that you had something special within you, something that needed to be carefully guarded? I'd love to hear your experience. God works in silence. He shapes, prepares, and reveals at the right time, like a potter patiently transforming raw clay into a unique masterpiece. Yet, in our haste to see everything completed, we often forget that silence is a powerful spiritual weapon, a space where God acts invisibly but profoundly transforms us. While we wait for clear answers or visible signs, God is orchestrating details far beyond our understanding. We live in a world that values exposure. Today, life seems to be on constant display, with everything shared instantly, without filters or discretion. Social media encourages us to showcase achievements, plans, and even our most intimate dreams. However, what is sacred, what is divine must never be treated lightly. Spiritual secrets are like seeds. They need silence, darkness, and the right time to germinate, grow, and bear fruit. Remember Jesus' words in Matthew 10:16, "Be as shrewd as serpents and as innocent as doves." This teaching shows us how to balance shrewdness with purity, strategy with humility. Prudence here is not synonymous with fear, but with wisdom. It's about understanding that there is a right time for everything, as Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. Rushing the timing can lead to loss. It's like trying to harvest fruit before it ripens. Revealing secrets before the right time can attract envy, discouragement, or even sabotage. The story of Joseph in Genesis is a clear example. When he shared his dreams with his brothers, it provoked envy and hatred, ultimately leading to him being sold into slavery. Yet, God used even those errors and attacks to fulfill his divine purpose. Still, we learn from Joseph's story that wisdom lies in guarding what God reveals until the right moment comes. The enemy, as we know, can only attack what he knows. Protecting the secret God has entrusted to you not only safeguards your mission, but also preserves the essence of his plan for your life. It's like building a spiritual fortress around what is most precious. Every secret kept is a brick reinforcing your protection against discouragement, doubt, and spiritual attacks. Consider Mary, the mother of Jesus. When she heard the shepherd's words and witnessed the miracles surrounding Christ's birth, she treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. Luke 2:19. She didn't rush to announce everything she knew. Instead, she guarded those revelations within, waiting for God's timing for his plans to unfold. Her example teaches us the wisdom of keeping certain things between you and God until he chooses to reveal them. So, value silence. Use it as a tool to grow in discernment and strengthen your faith. During these moments, pray, seek God's guidance, and trust in his perfect timing. When he decides it's time to reveal what has been hidden, nothing and no one can stop it. As Isaiah 60:22 says, "I am the Lord. In its time I will do this swiftly." Until then, guard your heart, your dreams, and your secrets in the safety of divine silence. Now, I'm going to share 3 practical spiritual tools that can transform how you handle invisible battles. Strategic silence. Not everything needs to be shared. Sometimes the best course of action is to remain silent and let God work behind the scenes. Silence is not a sign of weakness, but of strength and wisdom. Before speaking, ask yourself, does this glorify God? Does this protect my purpose? If the answer is no, choose silence. As Proverbs 11:13 reminds us, a wise heart keeps secrets. Fortress prayer. Your words carry power, but when directed to God, they become invincible weapons. Before sharing something important or making a decision, pray for discernment. A simple prayer like, Lord, grant me wisdom to know what to say and when to say it. Let my mouth only open for your glory. This kind of prayer acts as a spiritual shield, guarding your mind and heart from external attacks. A trust list. Not everyone deserves to hear your plans or secrets. Take an honest look at the people around you. Who celebrates your victories with genuine joy? Who prays for you and supports you without hidden motives? Build a small circle of spiritual allies you can truly trust. Jesus had 12 disciples, but he opened his heart to only a few. Follow his example. When you keep something in your heart, as Mary did in Luke 2:19, you demonstrate reverence and trust in God's sovereignty. It is an act that transcends words, a silent surrender acknowledging that what he is doing in your life is greater than what you can explain or share. Imagine your faith as the root of a tree. Though hidden beneath the ground, it sustains, nourishes, and strengthens everything that blooms above. Without deep roots, the tree cannot survive the storms, and the same is true for our faith. Keeping a secret that God has entrusted to you strengthens this spiritual root. It's like watering the unseen foundation of your life with patience and trust. Making something public before it's time is like trying to harvest fruit before it's ripe. The taste can be bitter, and the tree may suffer irreparable damage. Protecting what is sacred is an act of faith that prepares the ground for God to reveal, at the right time, the glorious plans he has for you. Reflect on the danger of exposing yourself prematurely. It's like opening a vault full of precious jewels without considering who might be nearby. Not everyone around you has good intentions. Some may look with envy, others with indifference, and some may even try to take what is most valuable to you. This isn't about living in fear, but walking in discernment, as Jesus taught in Matthew 10:16. Be as shrewd as serpents and as innocent as doves. Balancing wisdom with purity is essential to protect the spiritual treasures God has placed in your life. Also remember that when you guard what is sacred, you allow God to set the perfect stage. In his time and everything will be revealed in perfection. When that happens, it will be so glorious that no one, not even opposing forces, can hinder his work. As Isaiah 60:22 declares, I am the Lord. In its time, I will do this swiftly. The waiting is never in vain. Every moment of silence, every prayer whispered in secret, every step taken in faith strengthens the foundation of your spiritual journey. When you protect the treasure God has entrusted to you, you not only preserve what is sacred, but also show that you trust fully in his divine plan. And when he acts, it will be impossible not to recognize his hand in everything. To keep is an act of faith. To reveal is an act of his. Inside you, there is something sacred and inviolable space reserved for God alone. This divine essence is like an eternal flame ignited by the Creator himself, shining even in the deepest darkness. This flame is your secret, the profound and unbreakable connection you share with him. It is something the world cannot understand, touch, or extinguish because it is rooted in eternity and fueled by grace. As Jesus taught in Matthew 6:21, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. This secret is your most precious treasure, transcending the material and dwelling in the spiritual. This secret does not depend on human recognition or approval. It is the silent strength that sustains you when everything seems to fall apart, the invisible shield that protects you from the enemy's attacks and life's storms. Keeping it is not just a choice, it is an act of profound faith and obedience to God's call. It is a living testimony of your complete trust in God's timing and purpose, even when the path seems uncertain. Guarding this secret is like protecting the seed of God's plan for your life, allowing it to grow and flourish at the appointed time. It is a precious jewel you keep safe, far from curious eyes and careless hands. By safeguarding it, you declare your dependence on the Lord, not on human validation. You affirm your trust in the promise of Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Imagine this secret as the deep root of a majestic tree. Invisible to the eye but absolutely vital, it is the source of your strength and stability. Just as roots anchor a tree through the fiercest storms, your connection with God keeps you steady even when adversity's winds blow fiercely. By protecting this secret, you allow your roots to grow deeper, preparing you to withstand and overcome any challenge. Revealing this secret prematurely would be like opening a treasure chest in a crowded square. Not everyone around you can understand or respect what God is doing in your life. Some may look with envy, others with misunderstanding, and some might even try to destroy what they cannot possess. Protecting what is sacred acknowledges that God's plan is greater than human understanding and that His timing is perfect. Guarding this secret is not just an act of protection, but also an act of worship. It declares that you recognize the value of what God is building within you and are willing to wait patiently for Him to reveal it at the exact moment. It is a gesture of reverence, as Mary demonstrated when she treasured in her heart the words and events she knew were from God. Luke 2:19. When the time is right, the world will see the fruit of what you protected with faith and dedication, and no one will doubt that it was God's hand at work. So, trust the divine flame burning within you. Protect it, nurture it with prayer, faith, and obedience. And remember, what is precious to God will always be guarded and revealed at the perfect time. Guarding the secret is not just trusting in God's plan, but also living with the assurance that He is in absolute control of all things. What's coming in your life is only the start. God is shaping you for something greater. Every moment of silence, every prayer, every period of waiting is part of His divine plan. The secret you carry is what makes you unique, invincible, and prepared to live the supernatural. Now, I want to challenge you. Share in the comments an experience where keeping silent brought you peace or protection. Let's build a community of faith and learning together. If this message has impacted your life, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so you won't miss any powerful messages like this. And if you want to discover the 7 signs that your childhood was divinely planned for the purpose you're living today, don't leave just yet. Click on the next video and find out how your past was divine preparation for something extraordinary. See you there.